What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today is September 29th. I'm sorry, September 30th, and today was just eBay's seller check-in. I just finished watching it, and I did write some notes. So this is going to be a recap video of everything that I learned, what's new, and exactly what they talked about. So let's get this started. So as usual, in the beginning, they always did their introductions. There was 3 people this time, I believe. I don't remember their names. I didn't write it down. But as usual, in the beginning, they were talking about collectibles, cards, high-end things, you know, the usual stuff as always. That's what they're trying to focus on, I'm assuming. So not much new stuff for the new sellers. I mean, small sellers. The second thing, once they got done with all that, they started talking about feedback. And as usual, it was just the usual message about feedback, that our feedback is important. They want to hear it, all this, take their surveys, etc., etc., etc. Now, even though we do that, nothing really changes with the feedbacks. So they iterate that, they keep highlighting that point. It's like, send us your feedback, it is very important. I don't know if it is. Something else that they talked about was that during the October seller check-in, which I don't know when it's going to be, but more than likely it's going to be either in the middle or end of the month, they're going to be having some retail experts, I'm assuming, to like maybe give us some pointers or guidance about how retail is going to be this year, what we can do to get ready, that kind of stuff. I'm no expert in retail, so that segment might not be as great for me, especially since I don't do much retail arbitrage, but it might be good for those that do it a lot. So and sales trend also, so maybe that. Oops. Something else that they showed was something called a new storefront. When I was looking at it, it kind of looked like they were talking that they reformatted the way your store looks on mobile and on desktop. It's the overall look of it is different. To me, it just looked a little more sleeker. That's the best way I could say it. The search filters that were available just for search, the way that they put it, are now available in the storefront themselves. So from what I remember, those features were already there. I could be wrong, I don't know, but they're saying that it's available now, that you can search it by sold, color, etc. I've always been able to do that, so I don't know if that's new or not. Let me know in the comments below if you've had that feature or not. And then something else was a marketing banner that you're gonna be able to put this big picture, like it's very big, like just the size of a square, and you can actually link one item to that banner. And then something else is, I did ask a question. I asked a question saying, for item not as described, my question was, are item not as described cases ever going to change other than just accepting immediately? I know that eBay knows that a lot of these INAT cases are false and do hurt us as sellers. And I just got a generic response saying, thank you for your question. Do know that this comes up a lot in our meetings and discussions. While the return reason has become an industry norm, it definitely can hurt when you are in the middle of one yourself. Do know these concerns are discussed and thoroughly reviewed. I highly doubt that. I don't doubt that they are brought up a lot during discussions, but it's been so many months that nothing has been done, so I don't know how seriously they really are taking it. Another thing they talked about was multi-account users. Now, if you want to have multi-users on your account, or give someone permission to use your account, you have to have 2-factor authorization available. If you don't, they won't be able to use it. That's the way they said it. But if you haven't done it, just enable 2-factor authorization for you and the person who's going to be using your account, who has access to make that stuff. And then they got to the next speaker, and all they were really talking was just coded coupons. That is the best. They've seen sales increase. They showed you a tutorial on how to use it, but you know, there's so many other YouTube videos they can see for that information. So I found that segment boring, because I already know how to use it. We know what coded coupons are at this point, but if you don't, they're basically just digital coupons that you can send to your customers so they can get a certain percentage off their next purchase from your store. That's really all it is. And they did that for, I think, about 20 minutes. And then after the coded coupons, they started talking about Terapeak. They were just showing you another tutorial about it, so just stuff that we've seen on other eBay seller check-in, so nothing really interesting there either. After that, they were talking about the new listing format. So apparently, and I completely forgot about this, there are two listing formats on eBay. There is the classic one, which is the one that I use, and then there's a newer one, which is definitely a lot more sleeker. It's more refined, I guess you could say. I can't go too much detail into that because I don't use that one. I still use the old classic one because I use List Perfectly, and they List Perfectly is not compatible with the new format just yet, so I can't say anything. But if you're using the new format, leave comments below to if you like it better than the new format. I don't know if you've been getting the message either, but apparently on October 12th, the new item specifics are going to be taking effect. So you already know what that means. There's going to be a lot more problems. I think even they said it, that they actually expect to have these problems to happen. So just expect for more problems to happen and be ready for it, because it's going to happen. And after that, they went into promoted listings, and they talked about standard, advanced, and then one that I did not know about, which was promoted listings express. Apparently promoted listings express is a flat fee for auction style listings. And what that does, it just gives your auction listing more exposure. It doesn't put it at the top as far as I know. It just gives it more exposure, and apparently you can only use it on the app. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's what they put on their PowerPoint, just eBay app. So if you do auctions, check it out, and maybe it might be better. I have no idea. And after that, after the express, they went talking about promoted listing advanced. I won't go too much into detail about that just yet, because that might be a separate video. I did end up using promoted listings advanced, and you'll see in that in the video. It was just a little hint. It was a failure. But if all the people in the chat, they were just bashing it, basically pay per click, all this stuff. It was just a pure bashing. The only thing they did put was some what do they call it, some other sellers that are for it, that's saying that as soon as promoted listings event came out, that their sales went up. I don't know if that's true, because all it was just something that they put in their PowerPoint presentation. So whether it's true or not, I don't know. If you use promoted listing advanced, please let us know in the comments below how it was for you. But for me, no. After that, they went into the Q&A section. Was probably the best part of the whole check-in that I find, because that's always the best part in my opinion. Now they asked, does promoted listing advanced appear any different as just regular promoted standards? And the answer for that was no. It still pops up as a regular sponsored listing. So when you do promoted listing standards, under your listing is at the top, and then the bottom right hand corner says sponsored. So there is no way for your competitors or anyone to know that it's either standard or advanced. So that's just something that they want to clarify. And then again, they kept reiterating that their feedback is important, that just keep sending your feedback, and that's about it. I don't know if it's that important to them. I send in a lot of feedback and nothing, it's all the same. So I doubt it's really that important, but who knows. And then they went into the most common question that they were asking for promoted listing events: keyword spamming. Is it a problem? What are you guys doing to tackle that? And apparently they took that into consideration before they even opened beta up for it, that they invested heavily into real-time filters, and that's what's helping with the whole keyword spamming. So when your listing is clicked, that's why you don't see an immediate payment to your account, because it's taking that into consideration to see if it's actual keyword spamming or if it's a legit buyer. I can't go too much into detail about it because I didn't quite understand it myself, but just the way they iterated is that yes, they did take it into consideration, and that they are seeing positive results, that their filter is working. If you do want to see the whole seller check-in, it will be available on their YouTube channel, eBay for Business, early next week. And after the Q&A, they started going into collectible categories. I left after that because I am not in that category and I am not interested in. So this was the part that was for the general sellers, not for the high-end collectibles or just collectible categories. This was just going to be a recap for the September check-in. If you found this informative, please hit that like button, and also leave a comment below if you have any questions. That's all I got for you for this video. So till next time, guys, stay safe, take care. I'll see you next time.